And what is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show. We got a special guest in the building. He was the breakout star of the Jackson State spring game, Mr. Ezequiel Johnson. Zeke for short. What's going on, Zeke?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man? How you doing? Peace to everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey, we're doing awesome, man. We are doing awesome. And man, I know you got a story for us, Zeke, because, when everybody saw you, me included, because I was at the spring game. And I was like, yo, who is 36? This man was running so hard, breaking through tackles, really a standout in that backfield. But Zeke, before we get into your spectacular day back during the spring game back on April 15th, man, let's talk about like growing up. You're not from the South. You're from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Just tell me about what life was like for Zeke Johnson growing up, man, with your family life and everything.
It was lovely. I was blessed to have, the people I had around me. I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, both of my grandmothers really. And, outside we just play football all day, every day. all summer, knock around, walk around, and who want to come outside? Let's play some ball.
So that's awesome, man. That is so awesome. And so you talked about playing ball outside, man. Like who was the first person to kind of introduce you to football? Was it just the neighborhood? Was it an uncle, a dad, or somebody? Like who introduced you to football?
So my older cousin, he's about 2 years older than me, I think. And so you feel me? He's the one that put the ball in my hands and taught me how to play. He taught me about angles and things like that. And then I just took it myself and ran with it. And my dad coached me up too. And then I had a lot of great people to look up to. So,
hey, that's awesome to hear, Zeke, man. That is awesome to hear. Let's talk about, growing up playing ball. At what point did you know, like, hey, I'm actually pretty good at ball and maybe I could do something with this? Was it at an early age? Was it a later age?
4 years old. I was 4 years old. And my coach out here, Coach Rodriguez, he was like the like we had Pop Warner. He used to be Pop Warner then. I don't know what they got now.
Yeah.
But he was kind of like the head. So he seen me stand out. And then my flag coach was like, wow, I think so. They put me at running back and I was scoring touchdowns like crazy. So it got to a point where I think I played flag for about 2 years. Because I wanted to stay with the same coach throughout all my Pop Warner years. So everywhere he went, if he went to the junior peewees, I went to the junior peewees, And yeah, we made that work.
That's awesome, man. That's a great story. Now, let's talk about your formative years, your high school years. What was high school like for you? High school ball like? Did you go to multiple high schools? You were at one. Kind of what was that high school and playing football at your school?
So I moved to Piscataway. When I was going into 6th grade. So I made a lot of relationships and friendships there. And I moved back to South Brunswick. That's where I'm from originally, South Brunswick. So I moved back to South Brunswick my junior year of high school. So I played here my junior and senior year. And then I played in Piscataway from 7th grade all the way to 9th grade.
Okay. And so what was that like? What were you playing varsity early? Did you play varsity? Was it late? Or how was that a high school experience for you, especially going to two different schools?
So when I was a freshman, we had a great team. And then at the end of the year, like a few heads got called up to the varsity and we ended up winning the championship that year.
Okay.
So it was me and I think two or three other kids got called up to be on varsity. So we got to see, like how practice goes and the real speed with the big boys and things like that. So it was nice though. And then we won the championship. So we was on the sideline and really got to feel the energy. It's cool.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And so especially when you moved your junior year, what were those seasons like, your junior, senior year, and how was it recruiting? If there was any recruiting going on, what was that like?
So it was different. I say that because South Brunswick, the year before I got there, so my sophomore year, I didn't play at all, and I was still in Piscataway. And so South Brunswick had won the championship. I think it's like Central Group 5 championship. So they was on they was on the streak. They was the ones that everybody was looking for. And so when I came in my junior year, we had a few returning starters from that team, and we went 5-5 and lost, I think, first round of the playoffs. So it was like, damn. we got to
go from the championship to 5-5. Like,
yeah,
hey, let's go.
And it was hard because like a lot of my big homies and stuff played on that team, and it was like I wanted them to go out the same way they came in with the getting rings and things like that, but it didn't happen. So my So my senior year, my head coach had left, Coach George. So he stepped back, and then we had a whole new coaching staff, had to learn a new offense, and just invest ourselves into a different kind of culture. And a lot of dudes they didn't really buy in. So we ended up going 5-5 again. So and lost first round of playoffs again. Yep, out of my high school years right there.
Man. So like during this time, were your stats, were you doing okay? And what was any teams looking at you? Were you getting recruited at all? Like, how was all that going?
I wasn't getting recruited at all out of high school, really. Like I had a few D3s, like Rowan, and I don't remember the rest, but I had a few D3s come in, visit and do that whole thing. But I really I'm young for my grade. So I graduated at 17 years old. So that's what made me want to do a prep year.
Okay, so you do your prep year. What was that like, man? Because most people don't take us through that, because a lot of people don't even know about the prep school route. What was that like?
It was amazing. It was 2020.
Yo, wow. So it's COVID. So you did prep year during COVID. What was that like, man? What's going on?
It was different. So the school that I went to was Milford Academy in upstate New York. So everybody that went before me had like bad experience. They got bad food and this, all of that. But when we went, it was football and a little bit of school. And the food that we was getting food catered from restaurants nearby. So it was like we was always eating good. The living situation was a little, but we made the best out of it. We had a lot of fun over there. I loved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I loved it.
Absolutely,
it was a blessing,
man. And so going to Milford, what was the move after that? Because we still ain't got to Jackson yet. We're talking 2020. Yeah. So what after that? Like you ended up going where?
So after Milford, I went to Southern Connecticut, and they gave me, I think I got my first offer from them, and that was my only offer. And I got that after, I think, game two. Game two, I had, I don't know how much, don't quote me on the stats, but I had over like 100 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. And so they pulled, they made a bet on me and was like, we love to get you down here for a visit, things like that. So I kept in contact with them all the way up until till we graduated out of prep school. So I think I took my visit in like December. Loved it. It was great. Yeah, it was great.
And so you end up going to Southern Connecticut. Just tell me about that experience, man. What was that like for you?
It was different. Wasn't really like, I never really been out of past New York. So Connecticut was new for me. And then, the whole culture and everything, like, it was different. It was different. I just never been around that kind of environment before. So I got, those dudes took me in and embraced me as the new kid on the block. So that was cool. And I ended up going there with 2 other kids from my prep school. So all 3 of us committed, and we all got there. So it was fun, man. Like, I only did 1 year there. Yeah, I only did 1 year there, but it was fun.
And so you do your 1 year at Southern Connecticut. What is next? What did you know that you didn't want to be there for long term? Like, what was the plan after that? After just only being there for 1 year?
So I did know I didn't want to be there long term, simply because I felt like it was my only offer at the time. So that that was all I had. But after after my first year, I just really wasn't feeling it anymore. So I decided to leave and told myself we'll figure it out from here. And my mom said, "How about Jackson State?" I said, "How about it?" So it was a long time, a lot of long sleepless nights and things like that, trying to figure out how I'd be able to get to Jackson State coming from a D2 all the way in Connecticut.
Wow.
So, we was bummed out for a minute, and it was like, all right, we got to figure out how to make this work. So we started pulling strings, making calls, and eventually I got my class scheduled for the summer, just so I could go there and walk on and show them what I got and what I could do. And thankfully, we had some people in there that was pulling strings and got me there faster than, they got me there as fast as they could, pretty much.
Wow. And so hold on for our audience, just really quick before we get really get into it. What time period is this? Around what time is this? And what made your mom think about Jackson State too? I do want to know that.
I think she thought about Jackson State because that's when, Coach Prime was really on all. So even she was seeing him on Instagram and Facebook, and she really liked, she liked his message and she liked what he stood for. And so as I started, because I never really paid attention to everything outside, but as soon as I started paying attention to it, I was like, I could really go here and become not only a better player, but a better man. So that's what drove me to be there, just because I wanted to experience, that side of that discipline, that structure, and especially the winning. Everywhere I've been, we never won. 5-5, and we wasn't winning in Connecticut. So I was like, I felt like that could be great for me. And so this was probably about February. We started putting it together. So I was taking classes at a community college in Philadelphia. Okay. So while I was doing that, we was trying to figure out, I need about this much credits, or I think I couldn't be a full-time student there to transfer out, and however that goes.
Yeah,
so
I know. The credit thing is weird.
Yeah. So I ended up taking 3 classes there, and after those 3 classes, I put in my application for Jackson State, got in, and got down there as fast as I could.
Wow.
So by the time I got down there, it was the summer. I'm not sure if it was session 1 or 2, but it was right around the time that they had walk-on tryouts. So I was like, man, I want to get down there by the time, because they say you had to be a student to walk on and things like that. So I had the class schedule, I had everything going, and I said maybe I could get here by the time the walk-on trials come and show them what I got. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that. I think something happened with either my flight or something delayed it by a few days or maybe even a week. So by the time I got down there, I was just looking like I never even been here before. I was by myself. So I was asking around like, hey, where's the football facility? Where do the coaches go and all, that type of thing. And one of the players there, Rufus, I think he was an O-lineman there. And he told me, he walked me over there and got Coach O to come outside. And he was like, this kid wants to walk on. He looks like he's about his business. So I spoke to Coach O, and he told me that I had to come back in January of 23 because I missed the walk-on trials for, that session. So I went back home. Got back to work.
Wow.
So it was a long time coming. So from February all the way to January, that's about 11 months.
That's 11 months, man. So wow. So you get down there, you get your class schedule, and you just missed the tryouts, and they tell you can't come back till the next year.
Yep.
Wow. So over that course, over those 11 months, what were you say? You went back home, got to work. What were you? Were you just working out? Were you taking any more classes? Like, what was that like for you?
I took online classes there.
Okay.
From home. So just to, keep my credits and things. So I took the classes from home, but I really only wanted to go back home so that I could sharpen up my skills even more. Everything, because I've been training and working for so long. It's like, okay, I got X amount of months. I think it was like 7 to 8 months. So I got 7 to 8 months to come back here and show them a better me than what I just went there as. So Top Dog Training over here in South Brunswick. That's my big homie Dante Strickland. So I've been training with him, and we just been every day. Same thing. Wow. Weight room and field, weight room and field, weight room and field. Yep.
Wow. And so you get back to Jackson in January. You try out. What was that experience like for you?
Different. Never seen how a tryout goes. I've never seen so much kid. It was so much people there. And like the only time I've ever seen that is like at maybe like a kids camp or something, where I'm used to that much people being on the field at the same time. So I was like, wow. So
were you nervous at all seeing all those guys trying out? Were you nervous at all?
I'm be honest, not at all. I was built for this. I worked for this. So I was thinking like, this is my time to go out and do what I know how to do. So I was just prepping myself. I got outside by, I think the trial started by 2 or 3 o'clock. I've been outside since 11, stretching, getting my mind right, things like that, meditating. And then by the time everybody came, I'm already warmed up. I'm already prepared. They went for, check-in, height and weight, did that whole thing, and then it was time to go. So we started off by running the 40. Yeah, we started off running 40. And I think I probably ran one of the fastest times in the 40. And then after the 40, we went straight to like individual work. So I went with the running backs coach, and he seen pretty much how I move and my whole demeanor towards this. And at the end, he ended up choosing me. So
Wow. Once again, we're talking to Ezequiel Johnson, man. He talking about his story about how he ended up on the JSU football team, man. And so you're doing all of that. Now spring, they tell you, hey, Zeke, you know what I'm saying? Here's a jersey. They toss you a jersey. You're going to be on the team for spring ball. That doesn't always mean you go, be able to get reps and everything. So, and you're a walk-on. So you're at the bottom of the depth chart and everything. Just what was spring ball like for you? Because clearly it had to go pretty good.
So spring ball was like I said, different. Like I've played college football before, but it was a different schedule, it was a different structure. So I had to get used to the way that they practice and the schedule and things like that. And thank God I was able to catch on quick because I've been doing this. So I caught on quick and just put my head in the playbook and let my skills, handle the rest of the work. It was a blessing.
Absolutely, man. And so let's take it to the day of the spring game. Obviously you're going in there. You're wearing a number that another former JSU running back was wearing. I had the depth chart. They didn't have your name on the depth. It's no disrespect. They didn't have your name on the depth chart.
I heard. Yeah.
So they didn't have your name on the depth chart.
Marquise or something.
Yeah, because people didn't know. I mean, nobody knew who it was.
Yeah.
But then you go in there. What was that day like? I know what it was like from a fan perspective, but what was that day like for you?
Honestly, it was my chance to prove to myself and prove to everybody around me, everybody I've been working out with, all my homies, everybody that I can do this. I could go through all this stuff that I went through and come out, you feel me, or come out on top. So so the day started, we went and got breakfast. I think we had a meeting, and then as soon as we hopped on the bus, it was raining. Like it was raining hard.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, I'm putting my game plan together. I can't really cut on grass. You can't really move too much. So we gotta be downhill running. So when we got to the stadium, and all I remember when I got there was like, I said to myself, like, Zeke, look at where we at. So I came on the field and I was like, wow. And the whole thing wasn't even packed yet, but just seeing it and remembering where I was a year ago was like, we ain't come this far to come this far. That's what my coach told me. He said, we ain't come this far to come this far. So all I thought about was like, I got to put on for where I'm from, for me, and for everybody who been rocking with me all this time. I got to put on. So when my name was called, my number was called, I went in and did the best I could do.
Dog. Like the way you're talking is the way you play ball, bro. Like it's like you're talking real passionate, real hardcore. Man, I was like, yo, who is 36? Yeah. Like, who is that? Like, you literally stood out during the game. Appreciate like, I'm just being honest to you, man, because like I said, no one knew because, you know, you were wearing a number of a former running back. So the name wasn't on the depth chart. And so when you see like, yo, this 36 is running hard. Is that like, that's all I kept saying. I'm like, yo, man, are y'all seeing this? Like, obviously JD, we knew who JD was. He's been on the team for a few years. But then so him doing the things that he did, it was like, okay, it was kind of expected. And then the passing game wasn't where, because of the wet field and everything, it wasn't what you thought it would be, besides, you know, Kobe Paul's performance.
Kobe Paul.
Was like, yo, yeah. but then your running was really, really good, man. Just what was the coach's reaction to what you were able to do this spring game? And what is, you know, everything kind of been like since you were able to do what you did in the spring game?
So as far as the coach's reaction, they've seen it already. You know, they've seen it in practice. So my coach is like, just go out there and do what you know how to do. You know, and like you said, we ain't come this far to come this far. So I locked in mentally, and it was like everything that he taught me, I applied. All of the, you know, it's the little things about the game that he taught me that I took. And I told him, like, this could take my game so far just by him telling me and the little tips that he gave me. So I appreciate him for that. And after the game, I didn't even realize. I'm just thinking it's a regular day. But then my boy Luke Jackson texted me. He was like, what's your Twitter? I got to tag you on something on Twitter. I was like, I haven't used Twitter in almost 3 years. Like, I don't even know how to use Twitter. So I was telling him, like, you got to tell me what I'm doing on here. So I started seeing all the things that people tag me and all the love, and I appreciate it. I really do. But yeah, it's been cool though. It's been cool. I guess I'm the new 3-6. That's what they do. So I roll with it. It's all right.
Absolutely, man. And that's awesome because you earned that, man. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, you know, somebody just said, hey, you know, here you go. It's like, no, people reacted the way they reacted because of the performance that you was able to have, right? Like, it was a performance no one was expecting because no one really knew, as being a walk-on, nobody really knew who you were, but now they do. You know what I mean? Now they do. Now they know exactly who
y'all know a little bit. Y'all seeing a little bit, but I feel like, honestly, this is only the spring game, so that only set the standard for what I'm able to do, but y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Like, I feel like I haven't accomplished. I ain't do nothing yet.
Absolutely, man. And that's awesome. So that leads me into what's next, you know, because they do have, you know, some running backs on scholarship, right? They do have some guys that people expect to be able to contribute. So what do you think you now, you know, catapulting from what you're able to do in the spring game, how do you think that will propel you into the competition come fall camp?
Honestly, I just think that if I keep doing what I'm doing, you know, head down, go to work and lock in, everything will handle itself the way it's supposed to be. You know, so I wasn't really, like, I came in, I wasn't really worried about how much reps I'm going to get or anything like that. Just as soon as I get them, I'm going to make them count, you know? So we'll see how it goes and where it takes me. But that's all I've been wearing. I just like to work. I like to work and keep my head down. That's it. I enjoy this.
That is awesome to hear. Once again, we're talking to Ezequiel Johnson, Jackson State running back. Now, Zeke, you know, outside of football, man, what are some of the things that you enjoy? What are some of the things that you like to do?
Yeah, outside of football, I like to just, you know, kick it with my friends and chill. A lot of my friends play football too at high levels and things like that. So on my off time, the whole, what I had, 7-8 months. So the whole off season, I was going. One of my best friends plays at Monmouth University over here. So I was going to most of his games and just supporting him in his journey. And, you know, I don't really go out that much. I don't like to party. I don't like to I just like to kick it with me and my homies, play Madden, and that's it.
Now you tough on Madden? Can you play? Are you pretty good?
Yeah, I got a little something. See, I don't own a game system of my own, so some people I be coming across and they really play Madden. It's like, hold on, I wasn't ready for all this. You know, I wasn't ready for all this. But yeah, Madden is my I say like my little getaway, and it helped me focus on, because I play running back, so I play Madden like a running back. I like to read the defense and things like that. It just teaches me a little bit more about the game. So I enjoy
it. Absolutely, man. I've heard quarterbacks say the same thing. Like, Madden helps me, process and see things better.
Like Jason Brown.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know who's being him in Madden. When we play in the facility, I don't know who's being him. He plays like a real quarterback. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. And,
Jason Brown tough on the sticks like that?
Yeah,
he's like
tough.
that?
Yeah, he's tough. He's tough.
That is funny, man. That is funny. What now, Zeke, I got to ask you this too, man. Just when it comes to, I don't know how much you've been on campus. I know you took some online classes. I don't know if you're still doing that, but what has Jackson State as a school been like for you so far? I know you've been focused on football and stuff, but have you been able to indulge in the actual universities?
Yeah, I've had a few in-person classes, so I got to know a lot of the kids that's there, and everybody is it's so different. Like everything is so different than where I'm from.
Yeah, it's the South, man. You from New Jersey, it's a little different.
Southern hospitality is a real thing. Like all of these, like real respect. Like they greet you when you walk in, and they acknowledge you. Like I've never been used to that. But everybody I came across been real cool. And a lot of my in my business class that I have, we formed a little team, and we handle our work together. So everybody's been cool. Everybody's been cool.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, Zeke, I only got a few more questions for you. Once again, we're talking to Ezekiel Johnson, Jackson State running back. Now, Zeke, just going into, like I said, we talked about catapulting into the fall camp. Just what are your expectations for yourself with fall camp in the upcoming 2023 season? I know it's still, you still got some uphill battles. You're still fighting as a walk-on, but people have noticed you now. And so now they want to know, what's next from Zeke Johnson.
My expectations is to keep doing me and keep working. I expect myself to go hard every day. And if the results don't come fast and quick, they don't need to slow and steady win the race. It's all right. It's all right. It'll come when it's meant to come. It was meant to be, gonna be. As long as I handle, my part and do my part in school and outside of school on the field, I should be okay.
Absolutely, man.
I should be
absolutely. Okay. Now, what were your family's reaction to the day you had on the spring game?
They loved it, but it's they've seen it before, so they know like this is nothing new. They would expect Zeke. Zeke probably would have went for 40. So I know my dad is hard on me. He's my biggest critic, so things like that. But it's exactly what they expected. Come out here and do what you know how to do. That's it.
Absolutely, man. Well, Zeke, I appreciate it taking some time out of your day for speaking to me. Just one last thing, just anything you want to say to the JSU faithful, to the Tiger Nation fan base. The floor is yours.
To all the fans, I appreciate y'all. I really do. I be seeing all of the love on Twitter and Instagram. I can't get to everybody comments and things like that, but I like as much of them as I can. I promise. But I do appreciate all the love for real, because that y'all don't have to go out y'all way and do that and say the things that y'all say about me. So I appreciate it. And let's, I'm here to get another ring. That's what I want to do. So as long as y'all supporting and we handling our business, I think we should be A-okay with this relationship we got.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Once again, that's Zeke Johnson, Jackson State running back. Yes, sir. Number 36. The new 36 is in the building. Hey, Zeke, congratulations on all the success and the future success, because we know you got some more coming. It's not the end of the road. but it was a good coming out party that you had, man. So congratulations to you. Hey, thank you so much for taking some time out your day, man. Looking forward to seeing you and what you're able to do this fall camp and this upcoming season, man.
Appreciate you, boss.
Appreciate it. Hey, it's no problem. Hey, thank you all for tuning in. Once again, it's the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube and Facebook. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Zeke, you said you new to Twitter. Where can the people find you on Twitter, Instagram, social media? The floor is yours, sir.
Twitter. My Twitter is Zeke Mode at ZEQMODE, like Beast Mode, but it's Zeke Mode. And then my Instagram is E7EQUIEL Johnson. And I don't really use Snapchat and things like that. So
but that's good enough. That's good enough. Any NIL opportunities or whatever, hit up Zeke, man.
And I have a YouTube channel. If y'all want to catch me on YouTube, my YouTube is ZEQ with an exclamation point.
ZEQ with an exclamation. That's Zeke Johnson. My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. Thank you guys for tuning in.